05, we dropping in, occult Thanksgiving today. So make sure you buckle in, family. Before we get started, I want to get over there to my Patreon link is at the top of the chat, at the top of the charts. You feel what I'm saying? Video description. Get over there. Over 500 exclusive live streams. Also, KingSETI.com, online marketplace, official General SETI products, DVDs, T-shirts, hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry is fire. Make sure you check it out. Link is also in the chat, video description. Also, check out my memberships for General SETI YouTube page, Sarasun SETI YouTube page. You get exclusive videos, man. You already know I take it up a notch. You know that to be true. And make sure you get this video a thumbs up, like it because you love it. Share it with your family and friends and comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. Here we go, family. We back once again. It's on. We are dealing with let me get this in here. Again, we dealing with a cult Thanksgiving. A lot of people don't want to deal with that. You understand what I'm saying? They get nervous like you understand, you might then invoke something you didn't have no business invoking. So we dealing with America's forgotten harvest demons. America's forgotten harvest demons, the horror before Thanksgiving. See, a lot of, they say these spirits and shit, very malevolent. Because it's looked at, as a dying spirit, because you cutting down the life force, the actual crop is the life force of the spirit, and so in some instances, cutting down the crop brings on a malevolent being. A malevolent entity you just don't know. And like I said, you got to know the lay of the land. A lot of people don't know the lay of the land. If you saw that movie Poltergeist, you would understand because they built these these new housing, communities on some damn ancient, damn Indian burial grounds and shit. And then motherfuckers start having all type of, you understand, paranormal activities and shit and all of that, and so, you have to be careful because you got to always know the lay of the land. And many of these, you talking about the Civil War, you talking about even our people, many of our people, plantations and shit. That's why they were saying many of these big houses was burning down, man, because the ancestors is invoking the energy to burn it down now. It's that time. It's reaching a certain celestial high point in our existence that is prophesizing that it very well may be nearing that time. You see what I'm saying? Very well may be nearing that time for the uprise. But we're gonna talk about America's lost, harvest demons, and let's deal. Now, again, being that we over here, in America, that corn mother or maiden always comes up. You see, so a lot of people use corn. They make dry corn. They make necklaces and things out of it in that nature. They're trying to say it's not an evil spirit, but it is a cult. You see, it's something outside of the traditional, what you quote unquote call Christian. You see what I'm saying? So, it says that the corn mother or corn maiden, is sacred and has a spirit or life force. It is not evil, but if disrespected, she could withhold the harvest. So you have to give reverence to these, to the harvest, the spirit. Or it could bring, it could withhold the harvest or become malevolent. Okay? And so if somebody cut that harvest down and goddamn gave you a part of it, then you very well may get some of that malevolent frequency. So you gotta watch this shit, man. You have to watch it. You have to cleanse. Today you gotta cleanse everything. You gotta cleanse. Now they got this one coming out of Europe now, but it's been brought over here to America with them crazy Neanderthals. It's called the corn geist or corn spirit. You see, influenced by German, Dutch, and Slavic immigrants. You see, and it's talking about that last sheaf of corn contained the spirit. So that means because the spirit is in the harvest, it's in the crop. And as you cut it down, you feel what I'm saying? The spirit is jumping from stalk to stalk, trying to, and so the very last stalk contains that spirit. Y'all better know this shit. You see, this spirit could be angry, vengeful, or punishing if harvest rituals weren't done right. So you can't go and just cut the harvest. No, you have to do ceremonies and rituals. You have to do now you have to ask yourself who performing these ceremonies and rituals for this harvest that you get. Are they? And if they have not been performed right, then you could have a very angry, very vengeful, very punishing spirit. You see, contained in that. If you got the little dolls and the little wreath decorations and shit over it at your house and shit, not just for Thanksgiving, for Christmas and all of that, then if it was not done in proper fashion, you yourself can have malevolent energy in your house. So you're going to have to cleanse that shit. So the corn geist means corn ghosts. A ghost. You got this called a roggen wolf, rye wolf. So even the rye, the rye, you cut that shit, they call it the roggen wolf, the rye wolf. I like to know what the fuck that is. Then you got corn mutter, which is corn mother, and then you got the field demon. Now what the fuck is this motherfucking roggen wolf? You see, this roggen wolf, I like to know what the fuck that is. Damn. It said the roggen wolf or the rye wolf is one of the darkest old world harvest spirits. Basically a field demon connected to rye crops and is absolutely influenced early American cornfield folklore. Okay? Roggen wolf is a creature from German and Swiss folklore. Roggen, rye, wolf. It is believed to live in the grain fields, especially the last unharvested part of the crop. The Roggen wolf was not a normal animal. It was a supernatural grain demon or spirit. People believed it lurked in fields during harvest. Now, why we going on Thanksgiving is the harvest festival. And many of the symbols that you use today for Thanksgiving have been used for hundreds, if not thousands of years already in harvest ceremonies and rituals that you are unaware of. Okay? And so you get the commercial version as far as the history, but you don't know the ancient worship or the darker side of Thanksgiving. Uh-oh. The general go on the other side Yeah, got to go on the other side. Now, this Roggin Wolf, which is rye. So if you got some rye, you fucking with the rye. You see, lurked in fields during the harvest, attacked those who work too slowly, punished children who played in grain fields, guarded the last sheaf of rye, could cause sickness or accidents during harvest, was attracted to people who disrespected the crop. This made the rye field feel alive and dangerous. This some shit they ain't talking about. You understand? It ain't all goddamn pumpkins and goddamn apple pie. You see what I'm saying? And turkey legs and shit. No, sir. It ain't all that. It's some other shit. Yeah, many European harvest spirits. The Roggin Wolf, which is the rye wolf, represents the spirit of the grain, the dying year, punishment for waste or laziness. So if you didn't get your bitch ass out there and plant the seeds and toil and make sure you get the weeds out and watered it, then you got a week. And so that was your punishment. You was lazy. Fear of agriculture going wrong. The wolf as a devourer of life. Why farmers feared this Roggin Wolf? The Roggin Wolf appeared when the crop was almost finished. The last sheaf was still standing. Spirits were believed to gather in the leftover stalks. So that's why they probably burnt that shit. You see what I'm saying? Any of that leftover, or they might just give it to people that want to make wreaths for Thanksgiving and Christmas. You see, spirits would listen now. Listen. Spirits were believed to gather in the leftover stalks. What do they do with them leftover stalks, family? Yeah, they make Thanksgiving decorations, Christmas decorations, and you go put them up on your door and in your house and shit, and wonder why you hearing you motherfuckers walking through your house at night, and you be like, what the fuck was that? Is that you, baby? No, I'm in here with you. It ain't me. Well, goddamn it, you better get that 9 out, because somebody out there walking. Motherfucker turn the lights on, it ain't nobody, but you heard them footsteps. So you better get you some sage. You better start clean. You had to clean your house out. You used to be able to use to clean your house out. You get cinnamon. Some people use different things. I know cinnamon. I did it with cinnamon one time. And what you got to do, you got to open all the windows. You got to open all the windows in your house. The doors, open them motherfuckers up. And you go into the deepest room and you work your way to the front. You see what I'm saying? And you clean stuff, you know what I'm saying? And you know the cinnamon is like, it causes the spirits to flee. You see what I'm saying? You could burn your sage with it too. But you go into the deepest room and then you start cleaning and you burn. And it'll leave out of that one. And then you clean the hallway and any rooms. And you understand what I'm saying? And you open and they'll flee out of there. You see what I'm saying? But you go into the interior and you work your way down mythology, and make sure the next room, you clean that one out. You see, you burn, you wipe down with your cinnamon. You see what I'm saying? Or whatever you use, clean it out. Clean that room out, chant. Put your music, whatever you got on in the house, chanting and run their ass. You run them out of there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get on their ass. It's time for you to get your wicked ass out of here. You must flee, demon. You see what I'm saying? You have no refuge in here. This is refuge for the righteous. You must leave and call on all your ancestors. All of them. Be with me, Baba. You see what I'm saying? Be with me, Baba. All you start with your family first. Call them all in there. Come on in. We having a party today. Bring them all in. You understand? Call names and fill the house up with the ancestors. They'll flee up out of there. They'll get up out of there because the ancestors gonna get on their ass. They're gonna flee anyway. You see? And so in German folklore, the last sheaf contained the spirit of the harvest. So people created the Roggen wolf, the Roggen Hund, which is the dog, the corn geist, Roggen Mummi, which is Ra'an, a terrifying field witch. Damn. God damn, they even got a goddamn terrifying field witch. Shit. The hell is going on? They got a motherfucking witch. I want to know what this bitch do. You understand what I'm saying? I'll set that shit on fire. That's what you do. If you see, set that shit on fire. Burn it down. Is a field grain demon believed to live in unharvested rye fields. So yeah, you got to get that shit up out of there. You can't leave it out there. So moo me, Roggen moo me. And the Roggen is rye, and the Mumi is old auntie, old woman. So she is literally the old woman of the rye. Well, they could be malevolent or benevolent. They could be so they could be malevolent or they could be benevolent or malevolent. It depends if you don't perform the ritual. Because in order to cut, you got to cut the grain. You got to give homage to the spirits of the field. If you don't do the proper rituals and sacrifices to the spirits of the field, they could become malevolent. You see what I'm saying? And so this witch is unharvested rye field. So if you leave, so it must mean you got to. I guess it's a symbolic of laziness, and you understand when you didn't cut it down. You see what I'm saying? So you got to cut it down to plant anyway. So you know what I'm saying? You got to cut that shit down to replant. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe some of that is what it is. You know, it's symbolic, you know, and some of it is they do, you know, you got some evil shit. You know, it's some evil malevolent spirit and it's some benevolent. And it's all about, do you do the proper rituals and ceremonies, you understand, to appease the spirit, you know? But why am I doing this particular videos? Because what I'm showing y'all, that the same exact symbols that are used for Thanksgiving are ancient symbols of occult paganism that have a lot of malevolent energy attached to it. Now, you don't know where that sheaf came from. You don't know. So, you know, there could be a lot of malevolent energy attached to it when you get it. You see what I'm saying? That's why I'm just letting you know. You feel what I'm saying? And it could be done on purpose. And like I say, I wouldn't accept no type of effigies or no type of dolls. You can keep that shit. Don't come over here with no type of dolls or nothing. Get your ass up. Don't even come over here with that shit. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just, you know, that's just like red flag shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, the cornucopia is the goat horn. And the demon's always going to come with, you know, give you the world and shit. Now, I use these as only as parables, not for anybody to, you know, say, you know, to believe in anything. But just like the devil, he tempted, he came to Jesus. and say, I'll give you the world, motherfucker. You see what I'm saying? All you had to do is just bow down and worship me. I'll give you the world. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of times they'll give you the vision that is wonderful. You see what I'm saying? And you come, it's Thanksgiving and the pilgrim and all of that. And these motherfuckers is like Jeffrey Dahmers and shit. They was very malicious. You see what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers killed a lot and shed a lot of blood. The pilgrim. So to be having the pilgrim and the pumpkin and the cornucopia and the sheaves of wheat and all of that, man, is you crazy? It's one thing to have food now, and you have your family, but the symbolism, you ain't got to have the symbolism. You could put your own symbolism, put your ankh up and shit and all of that. I got all my symbols. I'm about to get it together though, because I know it's that time. You know what I'm saying? It's about that time. I'm gonna put some. I already got my altar up over there though. It's powerful too. But get your altar. If you're out there, make sure you got an altar, man. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? And you create your own altar. It's nothing to it. You put your most sacred, your most sacred necklaces, medallions, incense, oils. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you got that's sacred, you put it on there. You can, if you got obituaries, pictures, you make your own altar the way, and that's your source of power and energy in the house. You feel what I'm saying? That that you go to invoke the ancestors and your source of, power. You see, you empower that altar, and it will empower you. But I appreciate y'all being here, family. We just getting started. You know what I'm saying? The general is about to get busy tonight. We're gonna have some more powerful live streams in just a second. So stay tuned. Buckle in, family. Get over to Patreon. Support the general. You understand what I'm saying? I'm on the front lines for Black Power, global African supremacy, up against a whole lot of other groups out here that think that they can come in our house, and I'm just not having it. Keep the general out there on the battlefield. Support. Links is in the chat. Links is in the video description, and I'll be back real soon. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Black power. Boom.